that option. It happened to be Monroe County. Our county reviewed it, decided that it would be better for them to keep their sales tax revenue and allow the state to or have the county continue to pay the 15% of Medicaid. Now the county has asked for an opportunity to do the swap again, and I have indicated that I would file the legislation. I don't know that I'm going to be successful in getting it passed for a single county, but I'm going to try. But the county has asked that we swap out Medicaid costs for the county's share of the sales tax.
Right.
To do it singularly as one county, I think is going to be difficult. But
well, why wouldn't other counties want to go?
Well, it's good question, Reed. I think probably they look on it as the Medicaid being capped and the state having picked up a larger portion. They know what their growth of Medicaid costs will be, and they plot it against their future economic activity and the general increase in sales tax over the last 35 years. When it was in 1968 it was first initiated, and they decide that 10 years from now their sales tax receipts would be greater than their Medicaid costs. So I think that's the reason they opted not to take this offer by the state, and that's now I think Chautauqua County's having reason to rethink it, and partly because for the first time in the history of the sales tax, the receipts are down because of the economic recession. And so now they're saying, whoops, we should have taken the option. If we'd have taken the option, the state would have had the burden and they wouldn't have had as much revenue. Monroe County, of course, is probably looking in pretty good shape. Their sales tax revenues are down, but the state took their Medicaid costs over. So the state's kind of getting stuck with a little additional cost there they didn't anticipate. And that's my sense of why the county didn't take the deal when it was offered. Oh, I'm going to say it was 5 years ago, 3-4 years ago.
There you go, caller. Thank you for the call.
Okay, I have one more question. I tuned in late, so maybe you've already touched on this, but speaking of healthcare and all that, have we heard anything, I haven't heard anything locally lately about the hospital.
I didn't hear the question.
The hospital. How about the Westfield Hospital?
Westfield Hospital. We are very hopeful that we will be able to see the hospital continue. I've not had any official word on that, but I know because I've been working with the hospital and with the health department that they are considering a new model of financial management for the hospital, and it's our hope that the health department will accept this model that the Westfield Hospital has presented to them, and I am reasonably optimistic that we will be successful in keeping the hospital as now configured in operation.
Well, let's everybody keep your fingers crossed for that. Hallelujah.
Well, thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
We had Kathy Young on a couple, 3 weeks ago, and one of the persistent things she had to say, the theme was, New York City and the downstate New Yorkers are running the state now. And they're kind of screwing, that's not her term, but the upstaters, because they have no idea what's going on out here and they don't really care. Do you feel any of that?
I do, Reed. It's distressing to me, but the fact is that we've always been dominated vote-wise by the area below the Tappan Zee Bridge. It crosses the Hudson at Tarrytown. About 2/3 of the population, of course, lives south of that bridge, and the bridge is, what, 30 miles north of New York City? So if you take the population of New York City, the population of Westchester County, Nassau, and Suffolk, you have a population, it's about 2/3 of the population. Consequently, they send 2/3 of the legislature to Albany. And it's always been a battle for us upstaters to make an impact and make ourselves heard and to get results. It's one of the reasons that I feel being in the majority party is an asset for Chautauqua County. I sit in the majority conference, and although I'm often displeased with the outcomes of our negotiations, at least I'm there letting them know what Chautauqua County is interested in what we need and how programs that they may feel are beneficial may not be beneficial to Chautauqua County. Now, the last month or so, at least a month or so, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I've been fighting a battle with the conference and with the governor's office over a block of hydropower that's assigned to the upstate region. It's called rural and domestic power. It currently is worth about $80 to $100 million a year to residents and farmers in upstate New York. And we get it here in Chautauqua County in the National Grid service area. And what happened was about 50 plus years ago, when the Niagara Mohawk Power Plant came online, they didn't have enough customers for the power. And so through state legislation, 3 upstate investor-owned utilities were required to take this power, and our residents and farmers have been paying for that power ever since. But principally, the reason they wanted customers was they needed a revenue stream to satisfy the bondholders to pay off the debt that was incurred to build the plants. Well, now when the plant is paid for, downstate interests want that power because it's relatively inexpensive relative to coal-fired or oil-fired power. And I've been fighting a battle, as I say, for at least 6 or 8 weeks now with the governor's office and with my conference over this power. So far, I've been able to stall them, and they're not very happy with me, but I've at least had the opportunity to impact their thinking and make sure that they consider the impact to upstate residents and particularly farmers. Now, for our farmers, this could amount to an increase, if this program as proposed by the governor went through, could amount to an increase of as much as $1,000 a year on their electric bill. It's not a huge increase for residential customers. I checked my own light bill the other day, and my credit for this particular program was about $1.50 a month. It's based on how much electric you use. But for farmers, it can be $70 or $80 a month. And so it's a particular interest to our farm community. And I've just told the governor, and I've told my conference, that I am not negotiating this. There's no way that I will accept taking this rural and domestic power and making it into a statewide job development program. They've tried all manner of ways to sweeten the pot, but so far I'm still bottom line. I will not vote for anything that sees this power moved to a statewide pool. And so it's that kind of thing that gives me the opportunity to weigh in on issues. But we do have this concern. The senator and I have talked about this. There's no question. People in the downstate area have the votes. And so you really have to have an aggressive position to offset that. And we win some, we lose some, but at least we're there and able to fight the fight.
Okay, we got a caller. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Well, good morning, Reed, and good morning, Bill.
Well, good morning.
It's good to see you on the show, Bill, and I'm enjoying and appreciating the information that we're getting.
Okay. Mrs. Spaulding, incidentally.
Yes, I recognize the voice.
Yeah, that cheerful voice. Much cheerfuler than our old man, you know. He's almost ready to go in Chautauqua free, 90. You get in free.
Is he really? Can't be that old.
Yeah.
I think Bill knows better.
Can't be that old.
He's pretty close. He's edging up.
I can recall when he taught school in Mayville.
He plays the penny whistle.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's taking it up. Okay, so what's up with you?
I wanted to announce that we're
Linda?
opening our computer training at the Westfield Patterson Library. We're all set to go. It's for seniors, 55 and over, who are looking for basic introductory skills on the computer.
Uh-huh.
We've talked about this before. We have other sites in Fredonia and the Jamestown Prendergast Library, the only in one stop. We are licensed through one of our funding sources, Senior Services of America, to have this basic training for all seniors in the community. There's no guidelines for eligibility. They just need to sign up. We will be starting up soon. We're ready to go. We're just getting our what we call peer coach set. The person who will be there is a senior with the Senior Employment Program. They go online with this tutorial. They go at their own pace. They learn how to move the mouse.